All right, I'm a bit early, I think. I'm almost. How early am I? Hold up. What is this? Bro, Windows 11 doesn't tell me the exact seconds of the freaking clock, bro. Ugh. I miss Windows 10. I miss Windows 10. Okay, let me just close all tabs that I don't need. And then we can get right into it. Like, get some music on. Unfortunately, I don't have multiple monitors, so I can't see the chat and see what I'm doing at the same time. So bear with me. I'll try to go back to OBS as soon as I can, like, not be interactive with something. Actually, I could probably do it on my phone. Let's do it on my phone. I'll view chat on my phone. We'll do this. Shuffle. I don't like this one. Is this even, I can't even tell if this is auto-generated by YouTube. That's a bit scary. Nope. Let's just do something here. Let's do this. That'll work. You gotta turn on to the live chat here. There you go. All right. We're all good. The stream has been set up. Unfortunately, I have to stream from my laptop, so camera quality is not that good. It's a bit grainy, but we'll have to take it. I still got the same mic, though, so we're okay. We're chilling. I gotta send the link to a few friends since they wanted to know where I was streaming. There we go. There you go. Sent the message. I got coffee here. My setup is all good. Wonderful. Let's see if I have it on the correct tab here. And I do. What a wonderful place to start. Definitely gonna be some chaos tonight. This is gonna be fun. When I say fun, I don't know. But I'm a resident advisor now, so like there might be some times where I just go like this, just like that. There might be a few situations where I just go AFK to handle some situations with my floor, but that really hasn't happened yet. It might happen tonight though. Yeah, I might jinx myself. Wonderful. All right. So what anime do I talk about first? What do you think has the spiciest reviews? What has the most spicy reviews? I gotta have my chat on my phone here. All right. I mean, like, I can't look at shows that I haven't already seen. So we're going to be going through a lot of different shows. I think we're just gonna go through like whatever I see that I've watched in the top anime. Maybe we go by most popular. We might get the most toxic stuff that way. My phone's not loading. I gotta try this again. Dude, you gotta be kidding me. There we go. Alright. I think what we go for... I think we can start from the very top here. I think we'll start from the very top. This is gonna be a doozy. It's gonna be a doozy. Alright. Recommended, yeah, you got all the usual stuff. Although, there might be a few situations where the rating's like completely fine. That's a bit high, but I'm not gonna read it. Mixed feelings. We got a base take here. 5 out of 10. Based? Based. I'm a boomer tonight. You fucking... whatever. Alright. Alright, let's turn off the music here. We gotta go chill vibes here. Chill vibes, chill vibes. What's a... I'm trying to think of like... I don't want to go Persona because that's a cop-out. You know what? No. Stop. Bad. I think we could go Persona 3. Alright. I'm gonna move my head over here. Alright. I see you on phone, not TV. Alright. Let me just see if you can read these things more clearly on a phone. Definitely not at 480p. What would be the... Alright. Okay. Got you. Okay. Alright. Let's see here. Attack on Titan, where do I start? In summary, Shingeki no Kyojin is a perfect anime to get somebody who loves action started on anime. I think it is literally the most mainstream anime ever made, and that is definitely not a bad thing. But with this comes downsides. One, not apparent to the viewer at first glance, but looking back after watching it around the time it first came out, definitely shine through. So far it's fine. Shingeki no Kyojin starts with a roar. The first 2 episodes right out of the gate with high-octane action that also leaves mystery to draw the viewer in. Who are the Titans? What is in the basement? Why is Aaron's dad so creepy? Yeah, the usual stuff. Then episode 3 and 4 jump in. It's a training scene for Aaron and his friends, and it's a dead slow in comparison. But that's okay. It's episodes like this that reinforce character development and get the plot rolling, and soon the episodes with action will begin again, right? That high octane, bloody, gory action we've all been waiting for. You get that though. Don't you get that like after like as soon as like the Colossal Titan rejoins a fight, like in episode 5, like things just picked up immediately. Well, it does. Okay, good. But then shortly after, it grinds back to a halt. Why do I bring up the first 5 episodes out of all things to mention about Shingeki no Kyojin? Because it perfectly frames the pacing of the entire anime. First, you're baited with that sweet bloody action that makes you just stare at the screen in amazement of the beautiful animation and heart pumping soundtrack. The next thing you know, you have to sit through an hour of people arguing over the same issue over and over before going back. I honestly agree with that. Honestly, based but true. Based but also true. This guy is actually bringing up some decent points, especially with the latest season. There were so many scenes that like dragged on for way too long because Mikasa just kept talking to Aaron, talking about Aaron. It's like, but should I would I kill Aaron? Huh? Question mark. Would I kill Aaron? I'm not 100% sure. It's a mixed bag, honestly. Honestly, this isn't that bad of a take so far. Actually, Shingeki no Kyojin seems to show perfectly how to pull off the illusion of plot and character development. Aaron's struggling with his inner demons despite somehow going back to square one after every 5 episodes. The basement, which has been explicitly mentioned as having all the answers, being completely forgotten about while the whole group goes out to hunt titans. Are we just going to skip over the fact that it has an illusion of character development and he just mentioned Aaron and he say that he goes back to square one every 5 episodes? Bro, Aaron's not that... Aaron's pretty good. Aaron's character development is actually pretty good. I mean, what do you call it? Character regression? I guess he develops into a more insane character, which is funny. He kind of goes back to square one, like about like killing all the titans, but switch titans with something else. And it's like, I kill humans now. It's funny that he kind of goes back to square one with like his whole ambition, his whole drive goes back, and he becomes way less grounded over time, way more like extreme with his decision making. But in that sense, he does go back to where he originally was. But I don't know. I think he definitely develops as a character a lot. You start seeing him trusting people more and more, and then until the final season part one specifically, final season part one, point two, plus extra plus ultra with extras. I don't know. Yeah, this take is not that bad. This take isn't that bad, except for the fact that so far that Aaron having almost no character development is kind of it's kind of bad. I agree that forgetting about the basement for 3 seasons, everyone forgetting about the basement or barely mentioning the basement for 2 seasons is like pretty insane to me. But I mean, like, you'd probably get mixed up with like all the stuff that's happening on like in this world too. Just like you just gotta kill every single titan that's in front of you. You're gonna forget about a few things until you have time to breathe, and that time to breathe was with like all the political stuff in season 3, part 1. She can't kill Aaron until after he get her pregnant. What? She's just too lady to say that. What the fuck? What kind of take is that? Okay, that's a good joke. I mean, like, I'm gonna pause this because I might use these for YouTube Shorts later, and it's like, grammar is my enemy tonight. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough with that. Let's go back here. I'm gonna I'm actually gonna bring this out. I gotta bring out the chat on a separate tab so that way I could still see what's happening here. I'm gonna do this. Have it on the left side of my screen. You guys won't be able to see it, but I will. Hopefully. Come on, please work. Yes, we take those. All right. So I like to compare Shingeki no Kyojin to a Michael Bay film. This also makes it easier to understand what I'm trying to say. And trust me, it's not your fault. I have a hard time expressing what I feel in words sometimes. You're fine. Imagine Eren as Shia LaBeouf, in Shingeki no Kyojin as a typical summer blockbuster with Michael Bay. Eren zips around scenes of a movie, fighting bad guys and pulling off amazing stunts. Does Shia LaBeouf pull amazing stunts? I don't think so. He's just that guy in the background. He's like, oh no, in the freaking Transformers movies. But then hard cut to Eren getting mad at himself and people around him, but not actually advancing the plot for 1/3 of the movie as the action grinds to a halt. Add some comedic relief if you want a Bay comparison. The classic Transformers movies out of play. Transformers out of place masturbation joke fits well. Wow, great. Including possibly some potatoes after a traumatic scene, and then slap on the illusion of having a deep plot, and you have Shingeki no Kyojin. It's a typical summer blockbuster. You go in, watch it, enjoy it, then leave and completely forget about it. That is not at all. Holy shit, I just saw what he gave the story. Story 4. What the fuck? The story foundations are put up well, but the actual progression falls flat as no actions are ever really answered, and the plot never seems to want to go in a single direction. The plot does go places once you get past season 1. I thought season 1 is pretty basic in terms of its story. In that sense, I agree with your 4 out of 10. But after season 1, it gets way better. Art, yeah. Sound, 10, yeah. Character 3, it's not a 3. It's definitely not as good as a story at times, because Armin is basic, Mikasa's basic. Basically, the entire core except Eren is pretty basic, but like you do have characters that shine through, like Zeke and Eren and Reiner. Those guys are really good, but they keep asking her if she can kill him, and not what is stopping her from killing him. We all understand that she has feelings towards Eren, but it's like, I mean, I don't think that's the main reason. I think she just doesn't want him to die. Five again. Let's see what this guy thinks about this story. AOT had actually well-written characters until, well, yeah, until season 4, where like everyone was written terribly except for Reiner, Zeke, and Eren. That was basically it. To be fair, AOT doesn't get really good until final season 7th core after story. Fair enough, yeah. I think it gets good after season 1. I mean, you don't really appreciate season 2 until after everything, but 7th core after story. That's pretty funny. Attack on Titan has an absolutely astounding setting. Agreed. The sheer idea behind the setting, the explosion pieces, and the initial plot elements held the potential for it to be one of the best action anime ever. From the first 3 episodes, first 2, I could see how someone could believe that this would be that one anime that is just absolutely amazing. It simply becomes disappointing as things continue. Long story short, the the start was absolutely amazing. It's powerful, it's grabbing, and it does everything that an introduction should do. The problem after that stems from the plot becoming painfully predictable and a personal dissatisfaction with the protagonist in place, as well as the decisions of various members of the cast, completely destroying the story's credibility at times. That's not a complaint about the story, that's a complaint about the characters. The characters are sometimes absolute ass in this show. The Attack on Titan Clanide crossover got me in the feels. What the hell? That doesn't exist, bro. But am I wrong? This complaint at the end is about it's about the characters. It's not about the story. Mushoku Tensei redundancy felt the same way at times. I mean, the next chapter I got's the Aisha chapters, so I may have been drunk when I read that. Don't know. The Clanide crossover, it actually did exist. The main protagonist, Eren Yeager, is heavily set on his goal to a fault. Some call this good writing, but given the setting, it actually works against the story and its credibility. How so? It literally almost difficult to not find the main character's obsession with revenge nostalgic and downright hilarious. What the fuck? If you don't like Avenger-type characters, you will despise Eren beyond imagination by the time the story is over. That's fine. You can feel anything you want about Eren. Dude, I looked at a poll on YouTube, and it was like a poll if people agreed with Eren's actions, didn't agree with him, or just want to see what happens. 25% of the people agreed with Eren's actions, which is absolutely batshit insane to me. But you could do that. It's fiction. It's fine. But, like, in my opinion, if anyone tries to commit genocide in the real life, I don't think many people would side with him. Just saying. Based opinion that I have. I know. Revenge was hilarious, Keck. Dude was a literal psychopath. Indeed, he was a psychopath. Or psyopath. You forgot the CH. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but like, yeah, it's AOT's being so bad ruined AOT's being so bad ruined the story for me. A good ending completely completely makes or breaks a series. Another reason why Mushoku Tensei is a masterpiece. Disagree. I know exactly what AOT's ending is, and it doesn't ruin the show for me. It does not. However, I'm talking about the last chapter being bad is not in my opinion, it's not even that bad. But even if it was bad, it doesn't ruin everything for me. What would ruin it is the final arc being bad. The final arc being bad, which I agree with. The last 10 chapters or so of Attack on Titan are absolutely atrocious at points. But there are moments that you can reflect back on that are amazing. So what's a story? What's a good anime that I liked that had a bad ending? I agree the ending made me almost quit the anime. If Mushoku Tensei had a terrible ending, I would legit quit the anime, lol. You guys are crazy. How does the ending affect you that much? Okay, so for me, Devilman Crybaby is one of those anime. It's like the ending is like so out there. It's such a risk. For some people it lands. For me, it completely falls flat. The reason why I wanted to watch that anime was just I wanted to see a guy beat up some devil-looking guys with cool designs, cool action scenes, all that. But I didn't get that. What I got instead was some weird Satan garbage and it's just like, oh, end of the world, everyone's dead. Like, what the hell was that? Like, I was totally fine with like everyone like finding out about like the existence of devils and stuff. That was a completely fine twist. But where they took it after that was just fucking weird. It was so weird. It was so weird. I couldn't stand it. Game of Thrones had a bad ending. That had a bad season. That is fine with you saying that it ruined the show. Having a bad season is definitely way worse than having a bad final episode. It's true. AOT was like the first anime other than One Piece and Naruto that I watched. So to me, it was very personal over the years, and seeing it go down so terribly just shook my faith in the whole medium. I might have to talk about AOT's ending. AOT's ending is not that bad. It's just extremely rushed because other people wanted, because Shonen Jump wanted this guy to finish so quickly. It's like, all right, man, you have five. All right, man, you have 5 chapters left. Go. Good luck finishing it. He's like, what? It's like, yep. And before he knew it, he had 1 episode left. Actually, no, he had 2 chapters left. It's like, all right. So this guy, so the big bad's gotta like go somehow, or succeed, and everyone's character arc has to completely be done over the course of 2 chapters. I wonder if it's gonna be delivered well, because I think the main concepts behind the Attack on Titan's ending, it's it's perfectly fine. I think like the way certain characters' story arcs like finish, totally fine. You just got to execute it well. You just got to give it time. Like I think like what happened with Eren and Mikasa's story arc is totally fine, but like I gotta throw something away. I think what happened with Mikasa and Eren's arc is totally fine. I think that concept was totally fine, but oh, the execution was so rushed. It made things like pop up out of nowhere. It's like in my head, I think what happens to Eren, what Eren does is honestly perfectly fine. Granted, it's a ripoff of another anime that I love, but like it's totally fine. I could see I could see how it's good, but like it's so rushed that it just comes out of nowhere and completely in most people's opinion completely like sabotages like any character development that Eren had. I had a question just about this. If Isayama knew that he only had 15 or so chapters left, why waste that time on Historia and the baby subplot? I think he could have emphasized Historia and that baby to for greater effect, but it didn't really end very satisfyingly. It didn't really end. I'm not saying that you can't still enjoy. Yeah, I know. Like, okay, disclaimer about this entire stream. It's totally fine to have these weird ass takes. It's totally fine. I'm just gonna goof on. I'm just goofing on it. Like I'm just totally like, you're fine to have your opinion unless it's like absolutely insane and like shows signs of like being a completely terrible person in IRL. But like that rarely happens. But like it's totally fine to have any take on fiction. It's totally fine. You're justified in that opinion most of the time. But like, yeah, it doesn't mean I can't clown on you for it. But for me, the whole narrative should be building towards tying everything together. So it fails to do that in a satisfying way. Yeah, I think that's because it's Shonen Jump's fault, not the writer's fault. Then it sours the rest of the experience. It does kind of sour it, but you can like delete that from your head it might be hard to delete it from your head, but delete that from your head, that chapter, and you're totally fine, like enjoying like the anime and the road to get there. There were so many different, more interesting directions to explore than this. I understand where you're coming from, but that's not the story that he wants to tell. That's not the story that he wants to tell, and I could tell you this. The concepts, we gotta wait for the anime to finish because the concepts behind that ending, and I feel like they're gonna adapt the ending better in the anime because they're gonna give it more time. The ultimate sign of like your future being completely up to fate and you seeing what happens to you, not being able to accept how the future is something that's honestly a great theme. Like if you see where your life's going, where your life's headed, and you know how it's gonna end, and you can't do anything to change it, being able to accept that fact or being unable to accept that fact is a very, very compelling narrative to explore. And that kind of happens to Aaron. I'm trying to not spoil it, but that kind of happens to Aaron, but he had no time. He had no time to explore that. He kind of alludes to it, but he had no time to explore it, which sucks. I'm almost running out of coffee here. All right. Would you say it's about time to go to a different anime? How much time have we spent on this one? 30 minutes. I think it's about time we move on to a different anime. See, we could talk at length for so long on bad Mal reviews. It's one of my favorite things to do with some friends after we finish enjoying a show. Actually, there is one anime I'm curious to see how people think this show's bad. Cyberpunk Edge Runners. It's almost impossible for me to view some people as thinking that this show's bad. It's so good in its execution. It's totally fine if you don't think it's a 10 out of 10. I don't think it's a 10 out of 10. But it's so like good that it's so good in every aspect. I think it's like almost impossible to view this as less than a 5 out of 10. You can rate this a 5 out of 10 if you want, but not recommended. Holy shit, dude. Look at this guy's profile pic. Hold up. My head's blocking it. Look at him. Look at him based. He's looking at himself in the mirror. He's like, I'm going to be based today. Tatakai. I got some opinions on Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and I'm gonna say some weird ass shit. I'm gonna say some weird ass shit, and you're not gonna like it. I don't care. Fun. All right. Fit the screen. There you go. So Megamind Giga Chad Aaron manipulated the whole world for this moment to realize his dreams. Chapter 137. No, Mikasa, don't leave me for 10 years at least. So yeah, 7 out of 10. The line he had to okay. Okay, skip a little bit ahead. People who haven't read Attack on Titan, specifically read Attack on Titan, because I'm about to get into some spoilers here. Okay. So okay. I'm gonna go full face cam for this. Aaron is Okay, these lines with Aaron and Mikasa are cringe as fuck, but the concept behind it, it's so like having him like not being able to accept the fact that he's not gonna like be with Mikasa for the rest of his life, and him gonna like die. It's like he can't accept that fact. He can't accept it, and he has all the power in the world. He got what he wanted. He had his entire life. He wanted power. He wanted to be able to just he wanted to be able to have freedom. And as soon as he thought he got that, in season 3 when he touched Historia's hand, all that went to shit. As soon as he found out his future, all that went to shit. Freedom, illusion, garbage. You're not living with me. You're not living with Mikasa. Instead, you're going to kill almost 80% of the fucking population. It's insane. It's insane. But when you have Shonen Jump telling you, "Hey, you got 2 chapters left. Finish it." You're going to end up him the line that you're going to portray him denying his future is going to be something as stupid as, "No, Mikasa, don't leave me for 10 years at least." That is the line that you're going to have if you're being told to rush the shit out of this. They better give this scene like at least 2 episodes, because otherwise people are going to be just as upset as with the manga. That's all I'm going to say. Cyberpunk, I haven't got the time to watch it yet. Okay. I finished Bocchi the Rock, though, the other day. I haven't seen Bocchi the Rock yet. I have 2 takes for you guys. These are my honest opinions. Chainsaw Man, 7 out of 10. Fair. ReZero, 6.5 out of 10. Fair. Also, I have not seen Cyberpunk, but it doesn't seem all that special. It executes almost everything so well. Like, story's pretty basic, but it executes it very well. The direction is, in cinematography, fantastic. A few characters are a bit bland, but that's because they're comedic relief characters. What else you got? Art, amazing. The production behind this anime was fucking amazing. So, yeah. I'm going to lower my mic volume a little bit here. Yep. What's up with that train scene then inside? Oh my god. I ain't gonna end up with Mikasa outside. Yeah, all you guys are my precious friends. I'm trying to think of what scene you're referring to. Is it like that like horse carriage scene? That's not contradictory. All of you guys are my friends, and yeah. If this was Isayama's intention, it was shown terribly. Yeah. I don't see the contradiction between those 2 statements. Good friends, wants to stay with Mikasa for the rest of his life, unable to do that. And in order for her to be like in order for her to live a life of not being condemned from the outside world and having a happy life, he has to do the things that he does, leading people down the path that is shown to him with his Titan powers. It sucks, but yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go back to here. And this guy, we gotta see the 5. Studio Trigger and Cyberpunk sounds like a match made in heaven, isn't it? I will start by saying I am a fan of Studio Trigger and Cyberpunk, so I reckon I understand what this show is supposed to be. The anime started strong. By episode 3, I was hooked. Agreed. The world was well detailed and felt authentic. Trigger's distinct art style and animation enhanced the experience immensely, and I was immersed by the dazzling color palette, refined background art, and fluid animation. David, the main character, started as a started as a breath of fresh air in the anime sphere. Ugh, can't read today. He was not crying or complaining about his miserable life, but tried to take action and work with what he had. The dynamic between him and Lucy, the deuteragonist, I think that's what it's called, was natural and believable. The introduction of the other cyberpunk characters was other cyberpunk members was well executed. They blended in the story and said, okay, how in the world is this guy gonna he just praised for half of it, I guess. Okay, what is this? That said, the second half of the show is the complete opposite. They rushed the story, and when I say rush, I mean rushed. The strong foundation that they built upon was down the drain. Was okay, I did read that right. Jeez. Many interactions between characters were forced and artificial. It felt as if they were there only only for plot progression. Bro, the fucking the characters stayed the same throughout the entire anime. What do you mean? There's only that McCree looking ass at the end at the second half of the anime that David grew attached to, that didn't show up in the first half. Other than that, like everyone was the same. The interactions were forced and artificial. I don't know about that. Don't get me started with the atrocious time skip. Terrible, just terrible. This story was also predictable. It's fine being predictable. It's fine being predictable as long as it's executed well, which on its own is not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah. In this case, predictable means boring. However, I was expecting something more exciting, and since it swerved us a couple of times in the beginning and it had a more serious tone. Such dissonance between what I felt at the start towards the characters and their interaction to how I was not the least emotionally invested when the story reached its climax. All in all, I wanted to like the show. Nevertheless, due to poor pacing, which impacted every aspect, I can't bring myself to give it more than a 5. It had so much potential to be truly great, but unfortunately fell to mediocrity. All right. Ugh. Writing these paragraphs is exhausting, lol. You need to start like a Discord server or something to get that voice chat so that people can speak to you on stream, man. Should I start a Discord server? This is gonna be pain. This is gonna be pain. All right. I'll make a Discord server just for you guys. Just for you guys in this chat right now. I'm gonna make a Discord server. And then I'm going to immediately delete it after this stream. This is it. This is the one time you guys get to all right. This is gonna be completely unmoderated. Fucking why delete it? I'm not good with Discord servers. Fine. I'll leave it. I'll leave it alone. But the problem is I don't have like any sense of like, and my headset disconnected. Wonderful. As soon as I was about to send an invite, fucking hell. I gotta connect this. Like the problem with like me, I can't control what people say, and that's the problem. I trust you guys. That's why I'm only sending this Discord link to you guys. But like anyone like That's why I'm only sending it in this chat. But anyone has the potential to say anything, and it's like, I don't know. It's weird. And honestly, it's kind of like difficult to get over the hump of seeing text on the screen and then hearing voices. It's completely different. It's very weird. It's tough. I'm an introvert. Leave me alone, please. I'm not ready to become a Discord degenerate. And that's fine too. All right. I connected. All right. All right. I gotta hide this from. Okay, so I'm gonna have it so that there's no chat preview, in this Discord. I'm gonna have it so that there's no chat preview, and that this doesn't show up in the chat box. So I'm gonna hide this chat box behind my window capture here, and I'm gonna send it right here. So let me get that real quick. Let me send this. There you go. All right. Have fun. Have fun, degenerates. I'm going to share my screen on this here. There you go. Hello? Are you muted? You're muted. Unfortunate. All right. I think since this chat's not well acquainted with Cyberpunk Edge Runners, we're gonna have to go for a different anime here. What do we talk about? Oh, you're not gonna be talking that much? That's fine. All right. So like, what show do we do? I mean, we could easily just do like Mushoku Tensei, and that's basically it. But like, I mean, we all know what the takes are gonna be. It's gonna be like it's not gonna be like invalid, but at the same time, it's gonna be frustrating. We could talk about Evangelion. I got some hot takes on Evangelion. Holy shit. All right, I'm going to bring the chat box back up here. Back on the screen. I got some hot takes on Evangelion. Holy shit. All right. So, before I get into the reviews of Evangelion, I'm just going to say this straight up right now. Evangelion is way too artsy for me. It is so artsy, it's ridiculous. I was totally fine with all the production behind it. It's amazing. Some of the characters I liked, except Shinji being awful. He is such a stubborn ass character, and I can't get over the fact that he won't get in the fucking robot. It's such a meme, but holy shit. Shinji, you're so fucking bad.
He's a literal kid. Shinji is like one person, the one realistic teenage boy. How dare you?
Shut the fuck up.
Every other teenage boy is like a little fucking bodybuilding Chad. Come out here smashing through walls and shit. He's like the one person. Dad doesn't acknowledge me. It's like, bro, what the? You have no paternal instincts, man.
I don't care, man. It's not entertaining to me. This shit's so fucking garbage. It's so frustrating. I don't watch anime to watch some dumb kid. Why are they even kids in the first place? Why do we want it? Why do we want kids in our anime? That's what I'm asking. Why do we want kids in our anime?
Okay. So did you like the original Evangelion or the
No,
rebuild movies?
I've only watched the original because I didn't watch the movies because I hated the original so bad, and I watched the end of Evangelion thinking that it was gonna fix it, and it didn't. Instead, this last 75% of the movie was artsy to an
Oh,
absurd degree, and I hated it. I love the beginning of end of Evangelion. There were actual stakes. People actually died, and then and you actually saw their deaths. But in the end, it just brought up some thingy majig that like no one understands unless you read like all the backstory behind the entire series.
no, no,
It,
no, that's the problem. You see, Evangelion, if you try to understand Evangelion, right? That's the problem. That's already like you're already
fucking
there's no
fuck
point.
this show. Fuck this show. This show is ass. If you can't understand the show, it's ass. It's too artsy for its own good. That's the problem.
Maybe. But in my eyes, the way I see Evangelion is like Anos the creator. It's like a whole meta commentary. So unless you kind of understand the position, like I have followed Ano and I've kind of looked at his life, and so I get and I understand why he did it. And also the rebuild movies are completely different from the originals, both in theme and in character natures. But for someone who doesn't care about that, like the meta layer and how it interacts with him, his outlook on life. Evangelion is like extremely overrated mecha anime, essentially. Mecha anime with like one annoying ass kid, and that's basically Evangelion. But once you get into like, what kind of mindset were you in when you were watching Evangelion?
I was like in like finals week of my freshman year in COVID.
Oh,
The very beginning of COVID, finals week,
oh,
stressed out of my
okay.
mind, wanted something to distract me from that. It did not
Yeah,
serve that.
yeah, Evangelion does not work for that. You should probably watch like High School DxD or something. That relaxes you better than
Fucking high school DxD. I tried watching that shit. That shit was atrocious. It was so stupid. Oh, one show that I love. Oh wait, hold up. First off in the comment. Yeah, Evangelion is way too artsy for its own good. You need to play 50 games in a damn PhD in symbolic interpretation just to understand what the fuck is going on.
Look, I understand that the plot of Evangelion is basically ununderstandable. You cannot understand it unless you play like this fucking janky ass 1998 video game from like fucking whoever, and you need to pirate it because you can't buy it anymore. But
What is it
that's
for
not
the
the
Sega
point.
Saturn or some shit? What the fuck is it on? The
I don't even know. Like,
Dreamcast.
what the I'm not even good enough. But I did understand that Evangelion was basically about people overcoming depression, and it was from that state of mind. And if you're in like a depressed state of mind where everything, where you've given up, if you're still trying, Evangelion is basically gonna be like, hey, why are you trying? Why don't you just give up? And so it's just gonna be fucking pathetic, right? And Shinji is going to be the golden child of that. Like, why I don't want to get into the wrong, but Papa's hates the world will make it, and it's just not gonna feel or be very good. But if you're in the depressed kind of lost state of mind, then it's gonna empathize with you, and then some of the its more under hidden aspects are gonna shine through. But it's like a very conditional thing. It's like too many things have to map for it to be just right, for it to hit just right, and for people to understand Evangelion. It's kind of like it's a very 50-50 kind of anime. If
Then explain to me this: if it's so 50-50, why is it ranked? Why is it so highly rated? People just either you're either going to give it like a 5 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, right? So why isn't it a 7.5? 50-50
because
split.
because people like like I think this mostly like explains with Gigok. If you know Gigok, like him, so he at first watched Ava, right, and he wasn't in the right mindset, and he was like, "What the fuck is this shit? Like, fuck you," right? And so he rated it like I think like a 5 or a 6, and then like 2 years later, he was in that depressed mindset again, and then he watched it, and then he understood it, and then he gave it a higher rating. So it's like that. Also, the kind of artsy people who like meta things. For me, I have like a very grounded restriction in meta. If you're more than one layer deep in meta, if you're referencing the reference material itself, you're fucking stupid. But artsy people don't have that. Don't have that restriction. So for them, Evangelion is like this deep treasure trove of fucking nonsense. Of like, oh, the meta on the meta on the meta, and like, no, that doesn't make any fucking sense. You can only
Okay.
go one layer deep in meta because you're in a one-way medium. You're telling a story, and the other person is watching the story. So so artsy people give it a high rating. People watch it, they don't understand it. It's like, the fuck is this shit? And then 2 or 3 years later, they're depressed. Eventually, they go through this state of mind, and then they kind of get it, and it's like, oh, okay. And then they kind of put it up higher, and that's how it gets where it is. Also,
Uh,
Japan, Japan is fucking depressed. Japan is depressed as fuck. So
okay.
that really explains a lot about why this anime is so
We got a
popular.
lot of comments here. I gotta get through them. Okay, this guy's asking about Brotherhood. I'll get to that after I read the rest of these. Not
Can
even
I just say, like,
what?
okay, Brotherhood is way overrated. I don't understand why it's number one.
Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. We're talking about Eva right now.
Okay.
Nah, Eva is pretty easy to understand if you watch the old one and not the new one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Old one. No, the new one is like 2 layers in meta because the new one is a commentary on the old one and on how people like reacted to it. Because Evangelion is like the beginning of the
okay.
moe, like, yeah, like it
Yeah,
kind of jump started it
but
kind of thing.
the ending of the old series is so difficult to understand. Like it's
Yeah, so you're looking at it through like again, you have fallen in the deep old pit trying to understand Evangelion. Hundreds of hours wasted.
But
Life gone.
this guy says it's easy to understand and you agreed with him. What the fuck?
Um, no, low difficulty. Like, I don't understand. Like, what do you see? Like, easy to understand the old one, not the new. Nah, man, you're fucking capping out here. What the fuck? No,
Ava is a medium level of lore difficulty to understand. It requires at least 2 watch throughs. Okay, to be fair, I've only watched it once. So maybe it's easier on the second watch through. But in my
no.
mind that is almost impossible to think of it as easy to understand. Like how?
The only reason I think I watched some episodes of Eva twice was because at that time I wasn't used to torrenting. It was so early. So I didn't know torrenting, so would search on fucking websites and I would find some episodes and find some not. And so I kind of watched them through again. Some of them like director's cuts or something. Just like extra content. Eva is such a fucking mess. Oh, thank God for torrenting. Also, I think some of the information you are missing for the ending is like, yeah, I get that, but like that's not a valid explanation for a series. If you end like this fucking clap sequence, oh, clap, 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 and then it's like the whole thing is in the ending. Why not get like an extended episode and make that part of the series? It doesn't make any sense. The ending of Evangelion only makes sense from Arno's perspective because Arno was depressed as fuck. He wanted to kill himself. And so that's why the ending makes sense to me. That in terms of plot, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's a bunch of bullshit, bro. The fuck does that make sense? Oh, clap. Oh, clap, clap.
I'm just reading this fucking meme. This is so stupid. The coming out gay is hard. Try telling people you enjoy Little Caesar's pizza. See how much acceptance you get from the tolerant left. What the fuck even is this meme?
Oh, God.
This seems so stupid. Oh my gosh. Also, I think some of the information you are missing for the ending is explained in the subsequent movies. I maybe. I mean I think Scamboli Reviews' interpretation of Evangelion basically sums up my thoughts perfectly. So like if you want like an in-depth like well constructed process on analyzing Evangelion, basically watch Gamboli's like thoughts thoughts on Evangelion, and that's basically mine sum up to a T. I basically agreed with him on every point in that video. They ran out of money. I am aware of that, but
That's not a valid
they
excuse.
had an
Yeah.
unlimited budget in the end of Evangelion, and they could have went in any direction if they wanted to change the direction of the story. He did not decide to do that. Instead, he went even more artsy, which is
Yeah, he was depressed. Like, it makes a lot of sense because, and it also makes that the rebuild movies ending have a more concrete feeling to them. Like, I actually managed to make a bit of sense of it because he was not depressed. He actually came out of his depression during the time of his end. It's so fucking artsy, this whole series.
yeah.
It's like this, if
Yeah.
he's depressed, the series makes no fucking sense. If he's like, oh, like he actually sees like value in reality, and then it actually suddenly all makes sense. It's all fucking depends on his mood and depends on how he's feeling.
Yeah. I agree the ending is pretty weird because they don't make it clear. Even the new movies have a new ending. Yeah. Um, all right. This whole thing's a mess. We could
Yeah,
talk about this for
talk about
hours upon
brotherhood.
hours, but we're
You can
gonna
have, you can have. It's never gonna end. Let's just talk about brotherhood instead.
yeah.
It,
Let's talk about the top anime on my anime list. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Honestly,
man,
this shows a banger. This shows
the
such a
best
banger.
because there's like that. What?
This show's a banger. I'm sorry. It's not best anime of all time worthy, but it's definitely a banger. It's definitely at least an 8 out of 10.
Oh,
You
yeah.
cannot lie. It's not a
Okay.
10 out of 10, but
Yeah.
it's an 8 out of 10 at least.
Yeah, that I agree. It is definitely an 8 out of 10.
The
But like the reason it's number one is not because it's so good, is because there's like a fucking gatekeeping community and they
yeah.
like downvote it. And it's like stupid politics shit, which I don't understand. It's an anime, bro. Like what the fuck?
Hold up. Aside from the usual everyday anime, art and sound standard of which most animes pass now, anyways, there are essentially three main factors I see important in an anime: complexity, progress, and novelty. Oh my gosh, this thing's fucking long. He doesn't even have a summary. Come on, man. Give me a summary of what your thoughts are. Uh,
Yeah, this I can already tell what kind of person this is. This is like those people who read Western like fantasy novels where there's like 200 pages worth of explanation for the magic setting. Yeah, that essentially that's what he wanted. Which, in my opinion, can I just say like it's so boring.
I
Like I think Japan does it so much better in this case with fantasy. It's just like a short and sweet explanation, and it doesn't have like 200 pages like it's
okay.
actual fucking.
This sentence is so fucking cap. When I said I already knew the outcome of after 3 to 4 episodes, I wasn't kidding. No, this is cap. This is cap. They bring in a whole new fucking villain halfway through the series, and you thought of that, and he was so fucking important for the end, and you thought that Greed was gonna turn good in the end. Greed's entire story arc is amazing. That's 10 out of 10 worthy, but there is no fucking way that after 3 to 4 episodes, after you see a girl turned into a dog that fucking gets killed, there's no way after that you knew where the story was going just from that. No fucking way. No shot. Maybe you thought that Ed's dad was gonna like be involved in the plot like more heavily in some way. That is predictable. That's fine. But anything else, cap, hard cap. You did not expect that dad figure to die in like the 12th episode. Cap. No. No way. That's it. All right. Let me hold up. I need to go back to that full FMA Brotherhood comment. What do you think of FMA Brotherhood? Maybe it's just me, but I can't get fully invested. The comedic thing is kind of throwing me off. The comedy does get in the way at times, but like it's not the main centerpiece of the whole show, and I think it does that balance pretty well. Not extremely well, but pretty well. Anyway, any of you guys in Discord, what are your thoughts? No thoughts. Fair enough. Okay. I agree the ending is pretty weird because, okay, 8.5 out of 10. What a deranged poster. What a liar. Don't blame me, but never seen Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Dude, this guy's a giguk. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I'm not even trying to say FMA is completely overrated. I just personally am having a hard time getting into it and seeing why it's so special. Okay, having a hard time getting into it is completely understandable, and you don't really understand like how it's special until you get like to the emotional bits, like even like the guy who dies in like the 12th episode or 10th episode or something, like that's like a special point, but I didn't really understand why this show was as praised as it was till I got to like the last 10 episodes. And granted, it's like a 64 episode series, so if you can't get into it and you can't finish it, that's totally understandable. That's totally fine. i
Yeah.
I understand
So
your
there, I
position.
completely agree. Like, my opinion of this show changed from a 6 out of 10 to like an 8 out of 10 in the span of 5 episodes. In the end, the
Yeah.
ending, the ending is in like it actually like the ending is actually like it's designed around like a Renaissance level European Western philosophy, and the whole idea of good, evil. It's like it's all based on that, and it's so like the whole truth sequence, the whole dream world sequence of meeting the truth and the whole reality of the world. It's actually like foreshadowed extremely well if you rewatch the last 5 episodes, or if you rewatch some of the. But like the one thing I have a problem with this show is that it's rushed the beginning. I was not attached to the mother character at all. It was like it was an it's like she came and she went in 2 episode spans time.
The
Am I
okay,
supposed to feel
wait,
bad?
wait. It's been a while since I've watched this. What was the mother character again?
The
The
mother, I don't fucking remember. That's the point, man. I don't know. It was just like the two brothers' mom, and she came and she went. Maybe if I remembered her name, I would have been more attached. Like
Trisha
Trisha was the
Elric. That's Ed's
uh,
mom, but I don't think that's the one character that you're referring to.
yeah, this is the character I'm referring to. Their
Did,
mom. She came
but
and she was
wait,
there. She
she's
died.
dead. What do you mean? Like, yeah, she's not supposed to be memorable. It's just
But
the just the thought of her that's supposed to be memorable. It's like, yeah, they tried to resurrect their mom, they
how does
failed, and they got burned for it. Like,
how does Full Metal Alchemist start? The Full Metal Alchemist starts with like their backstory first, and then it comes to the present. I much prefer that method other than, oh, these are some people and they're on a mission, and it just felt so sudden and random to me.
yeah. All right. There is no mom in the beginning besides a flashback. I'm about
Yeah,
18 episodes, but I'll keep pressing on. If I can make it through Hunter x Hunter, I can make it through FMA. How the fuck did you make it through Hunter x Hunter? Okay. Hunter x Hunter, I haven't tried yet, but like just the idea of going through 100 plus episodes in the same series sounds impossible to me. I don't know how. I have no
like
opinion on
have you
something
watched
I
One?
haven't seen. Fair.
Have you watched One Piece?
No. I tried
Okay, so
watching
you
One
will.
Piece. I tried
I
like
there's no way.
40 episodes in, and people were saying like Arlon Park
It
is
gets
the
very,
best, and I'm like,
very,
it's kind
very
of mid, so I'm gonna
yeah.
stop.
You can't watch One Piece unless you watch it in your definitive phase of your anime career, essentially. I watched it as like my second anime. So
Uh,
I didn't know anything, and so I just like, oh, this is anime and this is what it is, and just watched like 1,000 episodes until I got way too fucking bored.
the longest show that
And
I watched was like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super, but I watched those shows like weekly, so it wasn't like
yeah,
actually not Dragon
I
Ball
never
Z, Dragon Ball Z Kai I watched weekly, but yeah,
I never watched this. Anime just doesn't come on Asian TV. It only comes on sometimes on like fucking Doraemon comes on, and those channels we just weren't subscribed to. So I didn't watch anime on TV at all. I
yeah,
just watched them online.
uh, understandable. One Piece slaps. I'm sure it does. Hunter x Hunter is by far
I
the best action adventure show I've ever
manga,
seen. Okay.
the manga, I actually recommend the manga. The anime, nah, man. The anime is way too fucking long.
The manga for One Piece or Hunter x
Yeah,
Hunter?
One Piece. Hunter x Hunter, I haven't watched yet. Like, I don't have the time in the world to go into another long-running shonen series. There's way too many fucking. There's just way too many of them.
I need some
I'm
more.
just gonna watch.
I need some more based reviews on FMA Brotherhood, man. Where are my based reviews, bro? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is this profile pic? The fuck is this? Fuck is that? What the fuck is this? Hold up. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think of what anime this is from. Fuck. Is this Monster? No. I can't think of it. I can't think of it. Shit. It's just Joker. It's so stupid. Holy shit, this is a long one. In the end, by no means is FMA Brotherhood a bad show. No, it was a good show that had a lot of potential but failed to amaze me. The unique story was ruined after a couple of episodes. I personally think this anime is overrated as fuck. It wasn't that bad. It's just overrated, and it didn't prove to be a masterpiece like everyone claimed it was. But in the end, this is just my opinion. Funny thing is, I watched it before the FMA 2003 version, same, because everyone kept telling me FMA 2003 was trash. And the funny thing is, I ended up liking 2003 more. Do I recommend this show? No, you might find your experience different than mine. After all, we are two completely different people. Okay, yeah. You coward's way out. Stick to your guns. Trash. Rating it a 4, and you're just saying it's good but overrated. That's not a 4, bro. All right, let me see the chat here. Did you notice that negative posters have to post? Ugh. Do you notice that negative posters always have to post several giant paragraphs to justify they don't like a show? Yeah. Let me just see like some random positive one. Let me just see here. No, this guy wrote a pretty. Oh wait, he rated a 6. Never mind. That's pretty based. Next one. Okay, this is relatively short, but it's a 10 out of 10. Dude, this guy rated everything 10 out of 10. What the fuck? All right. We might have to. This might be a bad review here. Let's read this. Story 10. To put it bluntly, the story is neither great nor good. It's fantastic. Wow. Word. The word that I don't use very often. Amazingly developed. In other words, an epic masterpiece. I mean, like, you could say that about the ending, but like for the entire show, there was some beats that like it definitely didn't hit as well. I was definitely like fast forwarding through a few episodes a few times just to finish the fucking show. But I mean, yeah. Brotherhood attempts very closely to follow the line designed in the original manga as opposed to in the original show. It's a story of friendship, brotherhood, of moments filled with happiness and sadness, of regrets and treasured memories. It has everything. And it has one of the most, or probably the most amazing ending of them all. Is it one of the best endings like of all time though? Like Code Geass is up there. I don't know.
Is up there, ending quality. But
wait, what? What's up there?
yeah, one of the best endings of all time. Nah, okay. That's your opinion, but I man, like Mushoku Tensei's ending was the reason I still watch anime. I would have quit it. I was so done with anime at that point. But yeah, FMA's ending is amazing. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I'm just trying to think of like other. I'm trying to think of other shows that had a better ending. I'm blanking.
Kind of depressing how many anime I've watched, but I haven't finished them till the ending. But like the ones which I have are all terrible.
Oh,
like all the terrible are coming.
Okay, this guy in the
mind.
This guy in the comments just brought up a user, Rebel Panda. Holy shit! I need to go to Rebel Panda's reviews.
Yeah, that guy. I remember that guy. That guy's an ass.
Rebel Panda, I need to see. Where is he? Community. Right? He's in there? No. No, he's not. Where is he? Where's Rebel Panda? Shit. All right. Uh let me try to find like a seasonal anime, a random popular seasonal anime. Vinland Saga. Is Rebel Panda there? He has to
Mushoku
be, right?
Tensei. I think I remember seeing him there. No, he's not. Mushoku Tensei. I think I remember seeing him there.
Oh yeah, he probably was on there.
That's why
Shoki
I don't like him
Tensei.
because he has this like fucking strawman argument with himself, which is like so, which is very boring kind of way to review him and any anime in my opinion.
Fuck.
Is he? Did you
I don't see him.
there?
I don't see him.
I remember seeing him there and being so fucking annoyed at his review. Like,
Fuck, where is he? Where the fuck is he?
did he delete his account? He deleted his
Bro,
account, maybe.
bro, no shot. No shot he deleted his account. Oh wait, no. There was a seasonal anime that I loved his oh wait, no. No, I remember. It was oh fuck. Um fuck, what was it? It's one of those bad shows. Was it Winter 2022? No, it was Winter 2021. I remember. I made some fuck, dude, going way back here. This is some nostalgia shit right here. Uh actually no, it was Winter 2021. Yeah, Winter 2021. Where was it? Where is it? X-Arm. X-Arm. He made a review on X-Arm. If I don't see his review on X-Arm, he deleted it 100%. There he is. Fucking amazing. Holy. All right. I read this. Okay. Rebel Panda, we're going to start off with one of Rebel Panda's banners because Rebel Panda's review on X-Arm is fucking amazing. What is the meaning of life? X-Arm is a phenomenal anime. It is a beauty to behold for the mind, ears, and eye. It is a landmark achievement in art and animation which no other anime shall surpass. This pulls you in, then touches your soul. It will make you feel a powerful range of emotions that you've never felt before: happiness, sadness, rage, ecstasy, and fear. Every time opening the Sun Rise Again began, I felt goosebumps run down my spine. The orgasmic CGI animation will make you vomit your brains out. You will ultimately feel a satisfaction unmatched by that which you have already experienced. Imagine if Tommy Wiseau wrote The Matrix, you would get this anime. Nay, X-Arm is more than an anime. It is an intelligent homage to the most prestigious anime directors, Hayao Miyazaki and Makoto Shinkai. Hyrock beautifully wrote the characters, and in the anime, they looked so realistic. I could practically touch them. The fuck is this? While I watched X-Arm, they were my best friends. Their quest to convert the 2D humans into 3D art inspired me. Someday I hope to become 3D too. What the fuck? As I watched the characters face the horrors of war and overcome prejudices to save the day, I learned that I too could be a CGI hero. Wonderful. It made me rethink everything I knew about morality, society, and sexuality. My words are not enough to express how thankful I am for the experience of the director, Kimura. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. Hoshikatsu Kimura. Okay, I was able to pronounce it, I think, for this masterpiece. A man who has, in his own words, inspired by Christopher Nolan. I kneel at my bed every night and thank God for Kimura. Thanks to him, we finally have an answer to life's greatest question. The meaning of life is to watch X-Arm. Infinity out of 10. This review from Rebel Panda. Oh, so good. Oh, so good. But the other reviews. He has 118. Jeez, oh.
he does
Yes,
like I think like he just talks to himself or something. He has like one opinion, another opinion, kind of. I think it's very strawman like because then you can just include any type of argument, whether or not that's real or fake, right? Or how does he do it? Or was that only for Mushoku Tensei?
I think there's a few takes in here. Like rating ReZero second season a 6 out of 10 is perfectly respectable. Hold up. Rebel Panda is a complete joke. We might be like there might be like more like hold up. Girlfriend he rated an 8 out of 10. What the fuck? Okay, hold. There I it might just be Mishoku Tensei. I'm not 100% sure. But
Maybe he watched Mushoku Tensei with like a friend, and it made things extremely fucking awkward.
maybe
And that's why
change the
he completely didn't like it because it does make like, imagine you have like a very kind of straight, kind of no nonsense kind of friend, and you watch like the antics Rudy pulls, and it's just like, so this is like, it's like one of those moments. You know what I mean? I mean, it would be awkward as fuck.
Yo, I met Tommy Wiseau at a Greek restaurant one time. No joke, bro. Does this guy actually leave serious reviews or are they troll reviews? No, they're serious. Okay, I guess not all his takes are terrible if he's willing to trash ReZero, lol. I mean, you agree with him, so like, yeah. Uh, I'm trying to find like recommend. What do you rate Spy Family? 7 out of 10, perfectly fine. Let me see. 8 out of 10. So far, these ratings aren't that bad. Okay. Um, this may be a base take. Final season part 2 of Attack on Titan, rating that a 5 out of 10, but we might get back to that. X Arm, beautiful review. Hold up. Well, hold up. What? Josie the Tiger and the Fish. Hold up. What do you rate this? A 3? Hold. What the fuck is this? Hold up. This movie was awesome. Wait, what the fuck do you mean? I consider myself a very patient person. It takes a lot to get under my skin. Even when I watch a bad anime, I still enjoy riffing on the flaws. Josie the Tiger and the Fish managed to irritate me. Trying to finish it was like waiting at the end of a school day, watching the clock tick, tick, tick. I constantly paused to take in the frustrating decisions the characters made, then brace myself for more melodrama. The protagonist, Suno, is a lot like me. Maybe that's why I had such a strong reaction to it. We're both 22-year-old guys planning to study abroad, working a part-time job to save money, except he's much more patient and resilient to psychological abuse than I am. His tormentor is named Josie. Bro, a slightly older woman with a disability that prevents her from walking. You might assume from the art that she is a pleasant person. That is so far from the truth. Bro, she was irritating, but she turned out to be all right in the end. Uh, you might assume. Okay, that's so far from the truth. Okay, yeah, back to where we were. Suno and Josie met by coincidence. Someone pushed her down a hill. Someone pushed her down a hill. Luckily, Suno caught her moments before she hit the pavement. Instead of graciously thanking, okay, this was pretty bad. Instead of graciously thanking him for saving his life, she accuses him of being a pervert for groping her. He did not. There were wacky facial expressions imply this false sexual assault accusation was meant as a joke. It was, though. That's the kind of tone deaf humor we're dealing with here. It was fine. It was a fine joke. This guy's weird. Their relationship proceeds as follows. Suno wastes his time and energy to ensure her happiness and livelihood while he begrudgingly puts up with him. Well, she begrudgingly puts up with him. A series of contrived, unfortunate events befall Josie throughout the film. That's what forces him to stay by her side and help. After saving her from nearly dying, Josie's grandmother invites him for dinner. Okay. Everyone, okay. For some reason, everyone ignores the sexual assault thing. Her grandmother continues inviting him over to assist with chores for payment. While writing a thesis, applying to school abroad, and a part-time job, he chooses to keep working for this bizarre family for a bit of cash. It's a lot of cash, to be fair. They were giving this guy like a shit ton of money. Jessie calls him her servant, but she treats him like that too. And this is supposed to be cute. Why the hell does he put up with her awful personality? Money. That's the main reason. It's money. That this guy was getting paid stacks upon stacks to put up with this girl. Josie and Suno's dreams merge in a con-esque psychedelic menages, among other unanswered questions. Cool, but why? Okay. It complements the production. I love stories about awful people. One of my favorite is Monster. Good anime. The antagonist Johan is a devilish serial killer. The difference between Johan and Josie is that we understand why he murders people because he's well written. Okay, this is a critique. We don't really have a good idea why Josie. Okay, he's bringing up some decent points here, but yeah, these moments of like her being like an absolute bitch is just like it's for comedy. It's fine. I guess if you didn't laugh at that, then I don't know. Uh, bro, did he just relate to the main character? Have y'all watched a night? No, Asukara. Hold up. I'm gonna. No. Asukara. What the hell is this? This is a weird ass show. What the fuck? I've only seen clips. What the hell is this? Long ago, all humans lived beneath the sea. However, some people preferred the surface and abandoned living underwater permanently. As a consequence, they were stripped of all their God-given protection called Enna, which allowed them to breathe underwater. Over time, the rift between the denizens of the sea and of the surface widened. Although contact between the two people still existed, this anime follows the story of blah blah, along with the childhood friends blah blah, who are forced to leave the sea and attend a school on the surface. There, the group also meets. Okay, this is a very strange anime. Can't be that bad. It's an 8. I'm sure it's not that bad, bro. Bro, what the fuck? The fuck is this? This guy literally caught a girl in the fishing net. What the fuck? Okay, dude. I see what the chat's into. I see what chat's into. All right. Fuck. All right. But okay, so this is it's a bit harsh of a rating for Jesse the Tiger and the Fish, but okay. We can't communicate. I haven't seen it, so I can't really. Okay, I've seen this show, but I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a guilty pleasure for me. It's kind of mid, but it's okay. Ah, I see. Trigger warning, sexual assault. I see the tendencies. I see the tendencies. That's foreshadowing for his Mushoku Tensei review. Did he delete his Mushoku Tensei review? That makes sense if he did. He probably got a lot of flack for it.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, you do.
Oh, there they are. There they are.
Yeah, and there is like the back and forth between his friend. He for sure watched it with like a straight-faced friend, and he was like, "Bro, what the fuck do you watch, mate? What the heck is this
Bro,
shit?"
he's consistent. Give him both a 3. Consistent down to a T. Hold up. Is this the same? Is this the same?
But I was annoyed as heck by this. I was so pissed with this type of review format.
You're so okay. AI. I love what is this actually him saying AI? Okay. Uh or Al. It's Al. Uh with the help of his friend Al. Okay, I see. Wait, he did watch it with a friend, but his friend liked it. I love the Shoka Tensei. I understand why they call it the pioneer of isekai of the isekai genre. Nowadays, every isekai anime uses the same tropes, but this show did them purposefully, complementing the story in the process. It boasted stunning animation, a great soundtrack, and a sprawling fantasy setting rich with lore. What do you think, Panda? I agree with the production values are top notch. In my opinion, Mushoku Tensei has all the trappings of a typical JRPG inspired fantasy, except with a repetitive, openly pedophilic main character. A random loser died and got reincarnated as a child, except his old consciousness is always present. With it's a seemingly ordinary show until an adult child's predator's voice starts narrating. On top of that, it's another wish fulfillment isekai, even though it's not as apparent as most other modern power fantasy anime fare. It seems different because it was written before all these tropes were done to death. Every season for the last 6 years, there have been dozens of ironic and satirical power fantasies. They don't bother pretending like they're non harems with overpowered protagonists. This story is different because it does the tropes, but without the veil of irony. It's you're not. This is not a self-insert anime. Mushoku Tensei is not a self-insert anime. Like I see in the fucking Reddit that like there are like moments where it's like man, it's like gosh, I wish that were me. Like Rudy buying a mansion for like fucking what pennies. Uh there are situations where like you wish you were Rudy, but this is not a self-insert anime because Rudy is not supposed to be relatable. He is supposed to be utter trash. Al, Rudius works for his powers. Unlike most isekai shows, he reads books, practices spellcasting, and works on his sword fighting technique. It's not like he was reborn as a god. There are plenty of times where he is too weak to win a fight. Of course, he is an imperfect main character. This is a redemption story, including including pedophilia is the author's way of saying if you can't handle this kind of content, don't continue. I mean that's a pretty good warning. Hold up, chat here. Uh, all right, I've read this review. My blood boils. All it took was seeing him trash Mushoku Tensei, and I knew he had terrible taste. Honestly, he doesn't have that terrible of taste. He doesn't have that terrible of taste. He's just really sensitive to topics like this, which, to be fair, is fine. It's fine to be this mad about a show for going down this path. It's totally fine. Uh, Uh, True. Even if I didn't see his Mushoku Tensei reviews, a lot of his takes are straight up garbo. I mean, we just looked at a few of his takes. It's all right. Him rating like Attack on Titan Part Two, like his final season Part Two. Sorry, I didn't get it right, guys. I'm sorry. Final season Part Two, like him rating that a 5 out of 10 is totally fine. And ReZero Season 2, Part 1. 6 out of 10 ain't bad. I'm pretty sure he used the same arguments as everyone else in this review. What's the wish fulfillment? Being a hobo. The wish fulfillment is being sent to an isekai world where you have the powers of like being of a water bender basically, and a fire bender and an earth bender.
Yeah.
That's the wish
And the
fulfillment.
only yeah,
And
but yeah, and this is the part where like not covering enough. The imagine if like Odious was here. Wait, sorry. Spoilers. Spoiler warning. Imagine if the events of Volume 12, Turning Point
yeah.
4, like half of the point people make would apply because it's like you want to be in that scenario, good fucking luck, buddy. Like I don't want to be in that shit. Like the stuff that happened
Yeah,
to Rudius, like what? Hey,
the end of
yo, what the?
okay, yeah, the okay. You definitely want to be Rudius in the beginning of season 2 when that happens, but the end of season 2, oh fuck no. But to be fair, that's well into the series. That is well into the series. So if you think it's wish fulfillment up to that, like before that point, understandable. But then again, Rudius is such a bad guy that you should not be self-inserted. You could wish you were in his
Exactly.
position. You could wish you were in his position, but you can't say this is a self-insert anime. He is a complete garbage human being, like for like the entire first half, probably the entire first half of the series. Even at the end of season 2, he's still
Rudius,
kind of a shithead, but he gets better, but it's he's still kind of a shithead at the end of season 2, but it gets better. It's not self-insert. Wish fulfillment.
every Mushoku Tensei like light novel person, it gets better, man. Just stick with it, man.
Bro, he's a pedophile. He's redeemed. Are you saying you believe in the redemption of pedophiles? No. This is where the fucking. This is where the fucking. This is where the fucking.
There. I think like the author unironically believes that. The author
Yeah.
unironically is like for any human being, because that's the theme of the story. I don't think that he's wrong there, because there is an argument to be made. If people can go complete change and
Oh,
totally
no.
like become a 180, because they're much worse people than him. That's what I can say. There are
No.
people who commit genocide and people who like kill people, and that's much worse than pedophilia. Like some people are in a
Oh
fucking-
no! Oh no! No! Disagree with you hard. I'm not gonna delve deep into
No,
that.
that's true.
But
That's
I
true. People
disagree
have
with you hard.
like,
Holy
how
shit,
many of you people have seen a dead body? How many of you people have seen like a scene of a massacre? Because
dude.
I have seen those photos. I've seen those files. Okay, and they are not like there's nothing in the world that makes you more sick in the stomach than that. It's like it's just it doesn't even.
Dude,
come
okay.
close.
I don't want to delve deep into that because this is a huge topic that's
Yeah, I know.
this is
I'm not
it's
gonna
like
bomb you, but, like,
pedophilia. Granted, pedophilia and genocide is like two completely different sections of bad, but they're both, in my opinion, just as bad. Both sides are completely fucking corrupt and fucking evil. I can't stand it. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. But yeah, self-redemption of a pedophile. That's a topic that's the reason why I say if you can't get past that fact when watching Mushoku Tensei, it's fiction, so I can hold off on that, and he's kind of a kid, so the web novel makes it fucking weird as fuck in the first few chapters with him. Was he masturbating to his niece or something? I can't remember, but there.
Okay, so this it was in the early versions. He revised it. Like you can edit chapters in.
He revised it. Okay.
So the very early, back when he was just publishing it, only chapter 2 or 3 of the web novel was published on that site. Back when Mushoku Tensei wasn't even that popular, it only gained popularity after the Roxy leaving scene, and Rudy kept his panty that. After that scene was when the web novel got popular. So at that point it was very obscure, and that was when some of the very OG these people are fucking. These people were with this refugian from day one. That those kinds of people tell that something like that was there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for long, and it was definitively
Okay.
changed. Even then he had wait, this is a bad fucking idea. What the fuck?
There are some things that shouldn't be said. I'm going to make the chat box in the stream a bit larger because it's kind of difficult to read. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I definitely believe that the author definitely thinks that and believes in the self-redemption of pedophiles. I mean, if you read the story, it's pretty given. But I hope that like the anime deals with these topics like a bit better, cuz like okay, in season 2 like he gets along with Sylphie again for those anime onlys. I mean, it's pretty obvious in the trailers, but he gets along with he gets with Sylphie again. And there's a romance that builds. If you say that this is sort of like grooming, the light novel doesn't really help go against that statement. It kind of does, but it's still like it's still questionable. I hope that the anime deals with this topic better. I hope it does. Because especially when you're reaching with a larger crowd, way larger than a light novel will ever reach, it's I hope that they deal with it better. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. I have respect for authors that write whatever they want. Yeah, same. It at the end of the day, it's a fictional show. It doesn't really have that much real world implications. But yeah, there are some things that shouldn't be said. Uh, the author believes in the self redemption of all people, and all people include pedos, and so that's where it overlaps. His argument is even a scum as low as this is worthy of redemption. And that is where I disagree, but it's fine for someone to write that. Um, but there are some scenes, even late in the light novel, where that have Rudius alluding to him being attracted to Aisha, where it gets yikes. But there's yeah, there are a few scenes that like shouldn't be. There are a few scenes in the light novel that shouldn't be happening that I hope get better in season 2. But yeah, it's all right. When he is in a bad state, I don't know what you mean. I have doubts that it can portray it in a tasteful way. To be honest, I didn't like the encounter with Orsted on how they portrayed it, at least. I haven't read that part of the light novel, so I can't tell. But I liked it without reading the light novel. I liked his encounter with Orsted. Turning Point 2 was great in the anime.
You haven't read volumes 1 to 7?
I've read volumes. I read everything after volume 6, so including volume 7.
Okay. So first things first, like one thing I have to just go out to the extra chapter. Like on the first page of all the volumes, there's gonna be like a page which lists all the chapters, and there's like an extra chapter at every volume. And that's basically where all the skipped content is, essentially.
Okay.
So that's
Uh,
like a quick
are
and
you
easy way to like get up to date with everything.
are you talking?
Because I think like if you read like there's one chapter in volume 1, the Zenith chapter, which I think like my opinion on Zenith completely changed after that. So
Okay.
yeah, also the anime portrayed Orsted's like extremely well. The first time we meet Orsted was in Turning Point 1. We just see him and he's like this mysterious dude, and there's no fear. Remember how in the light novel when we first see him there, he's extremely scary. It's like even dragons are afraid of him, so he's a scary person. So the second time we meet him, we're already terrified. But in the anime, that's not the case. So in the anime, when the second time we meet him in Turning Point 2, what do we see? Orsted fucking like donutting Rudy, like, oh here, come have a donut, buddy. Like, and that's like a perfect introduction to how you should feel about Orsted. So I think the anime was perfect on this. Just 10 out of 10.
Regardless of what certain inbreds on Mal think, Mishoku Tensei is a true 10 out of 10. Disagree. I never thought I could possibly empathize and root for someone like Rudy until I read this series. Okay, overall series is a 9 out of 10. There are a few duds that I didn't like. For example, probably right after Turning Point 4, right after like the Orsted finding Rudy, like volume 16, I believe it was. That volume was a bit of a dud. What else we have? volume 11 for actually no, not volume 11, sorry. Volume 10 for the most part was a dud. There are a few dud volumes, and I think honestly I thought volume 23, the second to last web novel volume, that thing was way too fucking long. There are some granted I sat through it in one sitting, but there are some flaws with Mushoku Tensei. It is not a 10 out of 10. It is not perfect, but the things that it does well, it does excellently, better than any show or piece of media out there. So I'd say it's a 9 out of 10 because it's not flawless, but yeah, it's not a true 10 out of 10. I disagree. Uh, but yeah. Uh, to you, all nudity is excessive. If you weren't so sensitive, you'd realize that anime has a nuanced portrayal of lust. Usually, anime don't realistically express sexuality, panty shots, and giant jiggly boobs. You know what I mean? But Mushoku Tensei realistically showcases genuine human desire, such as sex, longing, and masturbation. It's honestly refreshing. There's so much sex because of the time period. People didn't have phones or computers. Sex as a way of occupying time. Members of royalty will boink maids in front of children because that's how the culture was. It's an essential part of every character's life. The story is historically accurate with added fantasy components. First of all, no. I like ecchi anime. What I like how he says first of all, no, but like that's just a comedic bit. I like ecchi anime. One of my favorites is Interspecies Reviewers. Oh, what the fuck? Uh, suppose Mushoku Tensei is accurate to the Middle Ages fantasy settings. Do not need to replicate every shitty aspect of the past. The author selected perversion as a thing he wanted to replicate. The only excuse is that he wished to keep it realistic. That's lazy writing at best. Wait, I need to reread this sentence again. The author selected perversion as the thing he wanted to replicate. The only excuse is that he wanted to keep it realistic. That wasn't the only excuse. The it's not in terms of being realistic, it's being realistic with the themes that he portrays. So like it's showing like how like that realistic aspect does like get like emphasized and kind of showcased more in later. You'll see in season 2 like it's a big part. You'll see like sexual stuff is like a big part. The sexual themes is like a big part, especially with Rudius not being able to nut, you know. But it's a big part of season 2, and it's kind of setting the precursor for that kind of arc. Does it get overemphasized in later volumes after season 2? Yeah, it kind of does, but maybe that's just because I was reading the web novel and not a really well refined version of Mushoku Tensei. But yeah, it does get excessive. I'm fine with it for seasons 1 through 2, season volumes 1 through 12 for light novel readers. I'm fine with it for that, but because like it actually applies to like the themes that Rudius goes through, and especially in volumes 7 through 9 ish, 10 ish. Uh, but yeah, again, but this is anime only. It's understandable if you can't like get past a bunch of the sexual stuff. Again, this is Mushoku Tensei is a very niche anime, and I need you guys to understand, not everyone's gonna like this show, especially and not everyone's gonna be attracted to this show, especially for the excessively sexual themes and perverted scenes in the show. But again, if you can get past that, if you can understand like, hey, this is just something that will be talked about later, it's all right. Okay, continuing. The obvious answer is men had more power than women, and consent was irrelevant to them. We see this with the strong male characters who lead the households, such as the fathers in the Grey Rat family. They wield their swords, sit at the end of the table, and have sex with whoever they want. Aside from that, there is nothing else historically accurate about it. You're mistaken when animating Mushoku Tensei. Studio Bind referenced art, technology, furniture, and decorations from the Middle Ages. The characters live in finely ornamented homes. Households are accurately decorated depending on the family's social status. Not only is this historically accurate, but it adds depth to the world building. Ali, bro, you're basically completely deviating from the point that he was talking about in the last one. Whatever.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. The aspect of the anime is amazing. It's actually like, if the more you go into it, the more you realize how actually true and how much effort went into the pre-production stage of this story.
But you can talk about like the accuracy of like all the furniture and technology, and basically all the backgrounds are basically really historically accurate for the Middle Ages, but like that's not the point he's talking about here. He's that's not the point Panda right here is talking about. He's talking about the sexual themes and the historically accuracy of that part specifically, not the production side of the anime. He in fact praises the production side of the anime earlier on. All these are great additions to the show, but that's all they are. Extra coatings of paint to cover up sleazy writing. Yeah. And that's the part where my thumbnail comes into this. There's a fine line between how things used to be and how I wish things would be. More often than not, Mushoku chooses the latter. Its lewd, lascivious portrayal of sexuality is in service of male audience fantasies. Girl masturbating outside of the bedroom. The maid is horny for the father. The parents loud mating every night, and chances to have sex constantly and land in the main character's lap. This world is a horny teenage boy's wet dream. Rudius is the audience's proxy. And he becomes close to being another badly written self-insert isekai for Kentai.
We addressed this point. Remember, like the last volume, the last chapter, where like Nanahoshi's basically boyfriend or something gets isekai, and he's like this typical self-insert, and he gets fucking slaughtered. His like head is chopped off. People are spitting on him on his dead body. It's like, bro. That's all I could think.
We don't know. We don't know if he's a self-insert, but he was to us he was basically a blank slate character, but that's all because it was just we didn't have.
Okay, this is what happens to like typical isekai protagonist in a realistic setting. Head gets chopped off. People are spitting. It's fucking oof. It was almost a bit too heavy for me.
The whole point for that story was like he didn't have magical powers, and that was like he didn't have magical powers, and he was basically summoned as being the all saving hero sort of deal, basically the Luke Skywalker of their country. But that didn't turn out to be the case. Again, sorry for anime onlys. You probably have no clue what I'm talking about, but yeah. Mushoku capitalizes the flaws of his characters mature. I interpreted that character as a wannabe isekai character. Bro, there were a whole lot other shows that are a teenager wet dream more than this. 100%. There are a lot of better self-insert shows out there. Have you seen Sword Art Online? That's a self-insert anime and a half if you've ever seen it. Yeah, there's a lot of self-insert. We can go to top anime, and actually, no, it's probably better to go to most popular anime and just see. Uh, one, Sword Art Online being one, Tokyo Ghoul, kind of the anime version specifically. Uh, would you say No Game No Life is a self-insert? I think it probably does classify. There's just like the MC is like insanely smart, but I think it kind of does classify as self-insert, other than the fact that the guy's uh I think the beginning of ReZero is kind of self-insert, but it flips that on its head. So no, probably not. Okay, probably not as many in the top section as you probably I expected. Okay. Surprising. Um yeah, surprising. No Game No Life is totally self-insert. Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool. I am correct. Yay, go me. Uh fucking hell. Anyway, back to this. Such a wall of fucking text. Holy shit. I'm just gonna skip the sections where it's like Rudius isn't a self. Okay, okay, there you go. Rudius isn't a self-insert. He is a believable and relatable character. His portrayal of PTSD is exceptionally realistic. During the show, he gets nightmares and flashbacks to getting bullied in high school. The flashbacks are well directed too. The music becomes foreboding, and the scene becomes saturated with a blood red filter. It's not like they happen at random times either. Whenever Rudius reaches a turning point, such as leaving home and adjusting to his life as a teacher and setting out on a journey, his trauma resurfaces. If he's under severe stress, mainly in the final arc, he'll suddenly get thrown back into high school. Even though years have passed, he still experiences trauma because that's how it works in reality. Society conditioned him to become a pervert by bullying him into becoming a shut-in. I'll admit, I loved how Mushoku Tensei portrayed trauma, in theory. Without a doubt, it is the most exceptionally resonant aspect of the show. I could empathize with his severe anxiety, but the but he but he pre because he was a pedophile. It may have been society's fault he wasn't offered therapy. However, I cannot sympathize with the pedophile. He is not a good guy. He will never be a good guy. Saying it's society's fault isn't an excuse. Perversion is a behavior he can control with restraint. Hmm. The, what does chat say? Gurren Lagann. Uh, Jacob says hi. Konosuba is a self-insert. You wouldn't want a self-insert in Konosuba. Well, not in the MC's position at least. Personally, I would hate being in Cosmo's skin. Yep, yep. Uh, the show is about redemption. The title is literally jobless reincarnation because he is redeeming himself in a second chance at life. He begins as a loser who couldn't care less about people. Then he becomes a more caring person, helping to keep his family together and even risking his life to save people. That's why he makes nice friends like Sylphie, and he gets a job to pay for both of them to go to magic school. He might be a pervert, but that's the point. Plus, Rias is a lolicon, not a pedophile. Okay. You're. Fuck. A lolicon. Is he a lolicon or is he a pedophile? It's tough. I mean, I definitely think that anime portrays him more as thinking like little girls are cute sort of situation, more so than the light novel. But I think both portray him as kind of a pedophile in the beginning. You're somewhat correct. There is a difference, but within the story, Rudy is attracted to actual children. Writing an inhuman piece of garbage like Rudy, developing him into a half decent person, then expecting us to praise him for doing the bare minimum is shoddy writing. Praise him for doing the bare minimum is kind of like is still an improvement, especially in season one. Especially in season one, it's definitely an improvement. Would you say that you should praise him for it? Probably no, but you should expect him to do the bare minimum. I think that's something that everyone could say. You should expect him to do the bare minimum, and the fact that he is actually doing the bare minimum, you at least have to acknowledge that is like development. That is better than what was happening before. This topic is killing you, huh? Lol. Yeah, it really is. Basically the same thing. This guy is triggered so hard. I can't believe this fantasy character exists. Uh, dude, these reviews never fail to piss me off. It's understandable. Like this guy's review of Mishoku Tensei is understandable, but he takes one aspect of it and decides to like go to the distance with it. To be fair, it's a really touchy subject that you can absolutely just, if you think the worst in that, and if you think Mishoku Tensei is portraying like the worst aspects of pedophilia with the worst takes possible, then yeah, it's a 1 out of 10. But it's not doing that exactly. You're not supposed to relate with this guy. You're just following his life, and it's an extremely interesting life, and that's why the writer's writing about it. That's why you're still interested in the story. That's why you continue with the anime. It's because it's a fictional world. You're following a fictional character, and although he's a piece of shit, he is still very interesting to watch. It's a very interesting show. That's what gets you through all the bad shit that happens in the beginning of season one, in the first volumes. It's an interesting show in an interesting world, and you want to learn more about the world, and then eventually you start being interested in the MC Rudius's development. That's where it gets, but you don't really get to that until like volume 7. You don't really get to that until volume 7. So yeah, all about the world. It's all about the side characters. It's all about them until the very end. Until the very end of season 1. You don't really get too interested in Rudius as a character. Rudius doesn't even do the bare minimum. He pretty much tries to completely change himself, especially if you read the ending. Okay, I didn't read the ending of season 1, but yeah. Rudius has the body of a child. How could a child be a pedophile? Hold the phone. Aren't you always the one who argues that lollies are legal as long as they're old enough? I could point to Rudius's teacher, Roxy, and say she looks like a child, and the show has its own built-in fantasy logic to make her older than she looks. By your reasoning, both of them are adults. What's the difference? This is a very contradictory this is a very contradictory statement. If you could say that since Rudius is literally has the body of a 5-year-old, and that changes like his sex, like he has the literal body of a 12-year-old, and that changes like his sexual preferences in a way. Maybe you can argue that, but like that's not no. He's 40. He's 40. That's a hot take. This really is a hot take. Uh the Al, bro, you're not really doing us any favors here. Al, didn't Rudius didn't have sex with her when she offered. Didn't have sex with her when she offered. She consented, and she's older than him. He didn't do anything illegal. Is this season? This is talking about part two. This is talking about part two. What the fuck? He didn't do anything illegal. You can't say he's a pedophile if he hasn't done anything wrong, even if what you said is true, which it isn't. Doing the bare minimum isn't redemption. I 100% agree. He is not redeemed until I'd say he gets married. I think that's the turning point where he's actually redeemed. I think that is the turning point where he's redeemed. He is not redeemed in season 1. Not by a long shot. He's definitely doing he is definitely doing slightly better than the bare minimum. He is definitely way better than most of the people in that world, but he is still kind of iffy. His behavior is still iffy. He is expected to save an innocent person's life and does not have sex with a kid. It's basic human decency. That's not something to applaud. That aside, he didn't even do the bare minimum. You twisted the truth. Eurydice grew up to Eris, a 12-year-old girl, and tried to take off her pants all sleep. This scene was so hard to watch. Holy shit. I can't take anything away from that scene. That you can criticize that scene all you want. I will not take that away from you. There's no twisting and turning about that. That scene was garbage. And that's what makes me think that the groping aspect of season 2, not the groping aspect, all the creepy like things that you can point to in season 2, I have a feeling that it might be a direct adaptation of what it is in the light novels and won't be improved upon because they did not change this scene. I can tell they didn't change this scene because it seems very much like the writer after reading the light novel. And the only reason he didn't is that she got away before he could go all the way. He was fully willing to molest her. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I know. Again, the story takes place in a fantasy realm during the Middle Ages. You can't defend that scene, bro. You can't. Ow, stop. You can't do it. Don't say turning point, it's a trigger. That's true, but it's completely worth the wait. Reese is a fascinating, well-written character from start to finish, which is why we're invested. It's not. He's not a well-written character. He's from start to finish. Debatable, but like, is he a well-written character? I guess he knew that. I guess it is. I guess he is a well-written character from start to finish, but you're not supposed to like him. But doesn't become good till later on. Okay, yeah, that's a fine take. Don't say turning point is a trigger. Yeah. I think he's talking about after the Rudius birthday. He's not. I don't think so. No, that's not after Rudius' birthday, right? Oh wait, no. There were 2 points. Fuck. Yeah. That shit was fucking weird. Both points were fucking weird. Both times were fucking weird. Holy shit. Both times were fucking weird. I can't handle that. Bro's logic is if in fantasy world it's okay. Yeah, that's basically Al in a nutshell right here. That's basically Al in a nutshell. Yeah, this review is frustrating, but I can understand where this guy's coming from. Absolutely, I love seeing Rudius and other mages cast their magic. I was shocked the author created a second language and it didn't sound like gibberish. The voice actors did their job well. The music fits without issues. I didn't like much about the characters, but there were some cool designs. It's commendable that were never simplified with the they never simplified the designs when the animation when the production when the production cut corners towards the end. Fucking hell. It still looked far better than most TV anime. The hand-to-hand combats and sword fights are choreographed professionally. All right, 8 for animation, 8 for sound, 3 for the story and characters. No. Overall, 3 out of 10. Well, that's a little unfair. It deserves at least 7. Nope, this is my review. I say it deserves a 3 out of 10. Fine, whatever. Let's watch some more anime. Let's, as long as it's not Mushoku Tensei. 3 for the story. Oh, that's some. I don't know what to think about that. 3 for the story? I don't know about that, Chief. I don't know about that. That's a bit much. 3 for the characters. If you hate Rudius with a burning passion, then yeah, sure, fine. And if you have to curve it down for the character aspect, fine, sure, go ahead. 3 for the story though. What was poorly written about the story? Hold up, I need to see this. He has to talk about like the story, right? Like bare minimum is in redemption. We already read that. Real world issues. I reject that. Fiction is a means of communicating thoughts, emotions, and stories. Even if a work of fiction makes me ashamed or guilty, like Mushoku Tensei obviously makes you feel, I will never undermine an entire art form by saying it's just fiction. Have some balls, for God's sake. If we generously assume the show is depicting real world problems, it's doing it poorly. Such as Rudius' pedophilia. The show endorses his actions even though he calls himself disgusting, there is no self-awareness. I doubt he will come to realize that he is and stop. Calling yourself scum isn't enough. He is like a fan of degenerate anime such as Arrow manga since fucking hell. He says anime is trash and so am I. There's no nuance. It's just presenting repulsive aspects for either shock or fetishization. So that has nothing to do with the writing aspect, the story aspect. Hold up. At least 7 out of 10 at this point in the story. The logic behind episode 16 is to show Rudius's development still has to go. It's not just there for fan service or comedic aspect. I can't believe I have to explain this. Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not for fan service at all. That stuff, like, yeah, it's not fan service or for comedic purposes. It's definitely not that. Thank you for saying that. Yep. That's the take right there. That's the take. There are 2 different scenes in season 1 that I cannot stand, but one is played for a comedic bit, which was when Eris was on the haystack. That was played for a comedic bit, and the one after Rudius's birthday, or during Rudius's birthday, during that was for story purposes, character purposes, but it's still really weird. And if you can't get over that, totally fine. That's why you can rate the character aspect even a 1 out of 10. but rating the story, the overarching story, the turning point 1, turning point 2, that stuff, you rate that a 3. What the fuck is wrong with you? That shit's well written. Shit's well paced. The relationship between Paul and Rudius, like the whole setting up that conversation, chef's kiss. But you can't rate the story a 3. That's at least a 5. Chat says at least a 7. For me, at least a 5. At least mediocre. Yeah, everyone agrees that the second season of Promised Neverland is trash. 2 out of 10. Yep. I think we should move away from Rebel Panda. We got over the big one. I'm not reading the second part of season 1 because he already talked about he kind of talked about season 1 part 2 in that review, kind of sorta. Let me just look back. If the anime indeed condemns this perverse nature, why does it sexualize Ares, for example, after the beach scene when she says she plans to go goblin hunting? We see an image of her getting assaulted in Rudius's head. Even though Rudius's perversion is a character flaw, the show indulges in the same perversion. His pedophilia is not seen as a flaw to overcome. Pedophilia is one of his personality traits. He only gets better when he stops making sexually objectifying comments out loud, groping people, and grinning perversely. That's why the show encourages a lolicon audience and filters out people who find sexualized kids disturbing. I find it disturbing as well, but I am able to get through it. It is at times a problem, but I get through it. Bro, stop this guy. This guy needs to be stopped. Al, what are you doing, bro? Did it crash? Oh, nope. Yep. It finally zoomed in after all that time. I think I kind of crashed it by trying to zoom in there. I'm due for a rewatch. What do y'all think of Steins Gate? Oh, that's another show we could talk about bad reviews on. Let's go. Steins Gate. Steins Gate was a great show. Pacing had its flaws in the first half, but it was a great show. I loved it. This show was like a 8 out of 10 at least. The page got a headache from that review. Oh my gosh. It's like the world of Mushoku Tensei is as fucked up as a real world. Okay. What do y'all think of Steins Gate? Pretty good. I'm due for a rewatch. Okay, never watched it, so no opinion about that. Steins Gate is an anime for smart people. Oh no. It's not an anime for smart people. I mean, just look at freaking. Just look at this. Look at this character. Look at her. This is not an anime for smart people. Look at her. This is not an anime for smart people. This right here. This right here. This is not for smart people. This is for at times complete degenerates who like maid cafes, which is a very small amount of people, but yeah. What's wrong with her? Oh, her character's fine, but like um, her character's fine, but her character design is for completely fucking weirdos. It's not pretentious like Evangelion. Oh, I agree. I think it's a 9 out of 10, at least an 8. But like, yeah, it's not pretentious at all, but it has its flaws. Hold up. Uh, she's got a cool design. Yeah. Uh, I'm just saying, made cat eared girl. That seems a bit degenerate and not for smart people. It's a joke. This anime is not for smart people. It's for general audiences. Not general audiences. General weeb audiences. There you go. General weeb audiences. Ah, yes, not recommended. Shallow and oh, we got a short. Oh, dude, you guys were saying that these guys got like essays upon essays whenever they made like a bad take, but dude, this guy gave it a 3 out of 10. And bro, look at it. It fits on one page, dude. I don't have to scroll up or down to see it, man. Dude, nuts. Nuts. What's with cat girl made made girls? Oh, I mean, it's an anime in Japan. All right. Just a horrible anime. This is the anime equivalent of Inception. What? It tries to disguise itself as being complex and cool when it's really simple and stupid. How it managed to fool so many people into believing it is the former is beyond me. Hold up. I need a sip of water for this. Bitch, what? All right. We got some hot takes here. We have some real hot takes here. Tries to disguise itself as being complex and cool when it's really just simple and stupid. Simple, I agree with that. It's a pretty simple show. Um, it's a pretty simple show. Steins Gate the original, not Steins Gate Zero. Steins Gate Zero is a fucking mess at points, but like Steins Gate original, it's a pretty simple show. It because like the concepts by itself, if you try to look from outside in, it's pretty like out there. And but like what at times when you're supposed to be confused, like it's supposed to be confused, but like you're supposed to be confused. That's why it's like not like super complex and stuff. But like they gradually present you things in a very well paced way so that even like stupid people can understand what's happening. It's not like it's pretty simple in that sense. You don't have to be like incredibly smart to understand what's happening in the show. And my headphones turned off. Beautiful. Steins Gate Zero is horrible. Disagree. There are horrible parts about it, but there are some amazing parts about it that I loved. Fucking hell. Work. Are they connected? Cool. They are. Nice. What's this cat girl made girls? Steins Gate Zero is horrible. It's debatable. There are some cool aspects about it. Anyway, the story is a complete mess. Even the very premise of this. Okay, hold up. Let me bring up chat here. Even the very premise of the anime would not have ever happened had the so-called time travel expert followed the very basic concepts you learned on any time travel story. Not to tell anyone about your time machine, let alone let people screw around with it. That was their mistake. That was he got punished for it later. You dumbass. The show is basic. Show basically makes you watch as the main character repeatedly make this same out of character mistake, and we've seen it 100 times before, over and over again, until he finds out what he's doing is screwed up. So that doing so screwed up everything up. What the fuck? Gasp! What a shocker. He then spends the rest of the series struggling to try and undo everything. All the characters are walking over the top anime stereotypes. They they can all be summed up in their entirety out of a dozen words, if even. The silent girl always texts. The he that looks like a she. The moe girl. The computer nerd otaku. The tsundere. That's not oversimplification. There's not really much else to get into about these characters. They really are that shallow. How dare you talk about Daru as shallow? How dare you? Yeah, he's kind of shallow for the most part until like you get into uh what is it? It's been a while since I've seen the show. Suzuha. As soon as Suzuha jumps into the story, like yeah, he's kind of basic, but he does get expanded upon. Like every single character in this show, every show gets like expanded upon at some point, and they, while you're supposed to like view them as like typical cliches in the beginning, like you later learn like, hey, they're actually people. They're actually written as people. So yeah, it's not as shallow as this guy says it is. I'd give it a pass if it was some harem joke anime, but for a story-driven anime, this is just unacceptable. The only one that seems to get significant character development is the main character, a mad scientist, which the writer seems to think is a valid excuse to have him do the most out of character, ridiculous nonsense of all time, which makes him completely unrelatable, which leads you to remotely stop caring about what he goes through. He's not, bro. That's what, mad scientist. He's not a mad scientist. He's just playing a character. He's a larper. He's dude. He's playing a character. He's a made up mad scientist, bro. This guy's just a freaking otaku and a half, bro. This guy's just like not. This guy's not an actual mad scientist. This guy just completely missed the mark. I've got to get going now. Very good stream. Yeah. See you, man. Dude, holy shit. While you're struggling to piece together all the plot lines to understand why the time travel expert keeps blabbing about this time. I can't read to save my life. To understand why the time travel expert keeps blabbing about his time machine to every person he meets on the street, and to make some sense of dumb concepts like how a banana is somehow reduced to jello but still remains its shape so you can identify it after traveling through time. Don't be fooled. It's not because it's a really deep, well thought out story that you're having trouble understanding everything. It's because it's shallow and poorly written. 3 out of 10. Based. What is this review? This guy is just like fucking missing the mark on every single point that Steins Gate's supposed to be like doing. This review is shallow and poorly written. True. True. Dude, this review is so based, bro. This review is so based, dude. What is this guy like? What is this guy like? Let me see his takes. Where is some of his favorite anime completed? Give me some bro. Hold up. Sorted by score. Full Metal Alchemist 2003, 10 out of 10. Hunter x Hunter, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Death Note, 10 out of 10. Code Geass, 10 out of 10. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, 10 out of 10. Attack on Titan Season 1, holy shit, 10 out of 10. What the fuck was that take? Monster, 9 out of 10. Okay, so this guy has some decent takes outside of this. Season 1, bro, like, really? Okay, dude. Holy shit, what the fuck? 9 out of 10 on the Future Diary. What the fuck? Okay, dude. 9 out of 10 on Tokyo Ghoul. Holy shit, bro. Dude, what the fuck? Dragon Ball Z, 8 out of 10. Holy shit, dude. What the fuck? Wait a second. Wait. The old Hunter x Hunter, he gave a 10 out of 10. But the newer one, he gave an 8. That's weird. That's based. I haven't seen that before. That might be terrible. I have no clue. Tokyo Ghoul Route A, an 8 out of 10. Holy shit, this guy's based. Oh my gosh. Spirit Away, a 7 out of 10. Dude, this guy's based. Holy. Soul Eater. Dude, anyone who's watched Legend of the Galactic Heroes, like, thinks it's like a 9 out of 10 at least. I haven't watched it, but like rating that like a 6 out of 10, that's pretty damn. That's something. That's definitely something. What is this review? This review is for 9 at Tokyo Ghoul Barf. This guy is 30 to 40. He has a lot of 2000s anime. I just told my wife we were watching. What the fuck? What is this? Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Oh. Bruh. I don't know, man. This guy's freaking weird. Holy shit, dude. Holy. What the fuck? Bro, I haven't even finished Gurren Lagann. It definitely isn't a 1 out of 10, bro. What the fuck? Okay. I've watched 1 episode. Actually, no. False. 3 episodes of Gurren Lagann. I'm sorry to any of you who are fans of Gurren Lagann. I am sorry. I've watched 3 episodes. It is not a 1 out of 10. Bullshit. Holy. JoJo Stardust. Okay, JoJo Stardust Crusaders is pretty damn bad. It is stretched, but like 1 out of 10. No. Yeah, based. JoJo 1 out of 10. Stardust Crusaders is a 5 out of 10. It's especially part 1. Part 1 of Stardust Crusaders is so long and stretched out. Like, you have to be watching with friends to like get an 8 out of 10 experience, honestly. But if you're watching that by yourself and you're binging it like I did with JoJo, like especially after part 2. The first half of part 3, not so much, bro. Sorry. It's kind of 5 out of 10 worthy. Nah, Stardust Crusaders is mad fun. You can have that take. It's understandable. It's mad fun, but like for me, fun anime is really mostly enjoyable with friends, and you go like and you space it out. Okay, here's my take. The best goofy anime just came out recently. It is not from this season. It is still airing, but from last season. The Eminence in Shadow is the best goofy anime I have ever seen. It does everything so well. Every goofy moment is paced perfectly, well-timed comedic bits and everything, yet it still has the most badass moments I've ever seen in a show. This show is not a perfect show. The fan service at times gets a bit too much, but the badass moments, the I Am Atomic, the fucking fucking this is the path you chosen or whatever the fuck. This shit is. There are some seriously badass moments in this show, and it still is insanely goofy. This is a goofy show you can watch by yourself because it spaces it out with some really badass shit and its whole emphasis is goofiness. Its whole thing is goofiness, and it's way better comedic, way well written, way better written comedic bits than Stardust Crusaders. It's goofy. Stardust Crusaders is goofy, but you're supposed to take it somewhat seriously. This, when it's goofy, you're not supposed to take it seriously. You're supposed to take the serious moments seriously. But when it's goofy, you're just supposed to laugh. There's no mix. This show does not miss. The Eminence and Shadow does not miss. The Eminence and Shadow does not miss. This show does not miss. Have you watched Uncle from Another World? Holy shit, never laughed harder in my life. Uncle from Another World, I've seen a few episodes, but I did not laugh, so did not watch the rest. It's not the best. It's not the best show. I didn't enjoy it as much. It was meh. Let's look at some reviews for this. Okay, put in chat. Put a 1 in chat if you've watched if you've watched this show. If you want goofy, watch Grand Blue. I've heard of that show. Hold up, I'm gonna search up Grand Blue here. Grand Blue. Oh. Moves down to a coastal town for his freshman year at his university, taking residence above Grand Blue, his uncle's scuba diving shop. Has dreams about having high hopes and dreams about having the ideal college experience, but then he enters the shop. He is sucked into the alcoholic activities of the carefree members of the diving club who frequent the place. Persuaded by upperclassmen, blah, 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 Iori reluctantly joins their bizarre party. His cousin, later walks in and catches him in the act, earning Iori her utter disdain. That is a bad summary. Too much sausage. 1. I'll have to put this on my watch list. This seems alright. Where we get into Eminence and Shadow. 10 out of 20 episodes. This guy got pretty well into it. It's not often that I review an anime that I drop. Typically, I wait until I finish a series to review it. However, this is a frustrating series that I feel I need to review, but I also have zero desire to actually suffer through 10 more episodes. A friend of mine recommended this series after the YouTuber Mother's Basement hyped it up as subversive dark comedy with brilliant parody of shitty isekai power fantasies. But it also does the Isekai Power Fantasy series justice. It's so fucking good with its badass moments. It's insane. Eminence and Shadow, or ES, as I'll refer to it from now on, uses a lot of tired tropes and cliches. It's fully aware that it's doing so and intends to poke fun at poorly written isekai, but it doesn't actually do enough to distinguish itself as a parody. It ends up just looking like a aping trashy isekai and becomes the very thing it's set out to make fun of. The series tries to let us in on the fact it's a dark comedy and a parody because the main character is Shuni's a sociopath with delusions of grandeur and megalomania. Fuck. Dude. Nothing the main character does goes over the top enough to let the audience know that the writer actually looks down on these type of power fantasies and is just having a laugh at them while holding them in disdain. No, he is not. It's doing it's a parody of power fantasies, but at the same time, it loves power fantasy anime. It's so good. Lost me after 10 episodes. It was funny at first, then it really dragged toward the middle. If a comedy show fails to make you laugh for a whole episode, I know which episode you're talking about. Okay. Okay. At least it's better than Lego Mania. I know which episode you're talking about. That episode was so bad I skipped it. But guess what? It follows like the life of like all. It follows like it's like a slice of life standalone episode of like all like the side character girls in the show, and it's like fan servicey as hell and all that shit. That episode I skipped and will never look back. That episode was complete and utter trash, but I skipped that, moved on, and the show was great after that. This show is still great after that. Before and after that episode, this show is great. No complaints. The first episode actually starts out with some potential. Our sociopathic main character tries to blend in as a background NPC while secretly mastering dozens of martial arts and training intensely to become a crime-fighting vigilante by night. He goes around beating Yakuza and motorcycle thugs to death by dual-wielding crowbars. Yeah, that was fucking stupid as shit. So at first it looks like it's going to be darkly comedic, a darkly comic deconstruction of the concept of a superhero and what would actually happen if a mentally ill person decided to go vigilante while LARPing as a hero. This concept has actually been done to death in the West with movies like James Gunn's Super and Mark Miller's Kick-Ass. However, I've not seen an anime take on this concept. Sadly, ES abandons this concept and has the hero intentionally throw himself into a truck in the hopes that he'll no. He threw himself into a truck completely on accident. He was just running, just shouting magic because he saw some flashy lights and thought it was magic. He was going freaking nuts and he actually ran into a freaking truck in the process. It was so dumb and I loved it. Seriously, Konosuba did that joke over 10 years ago and did it better. It did do the truck coon scene better, but it was what I miss, we're talking about Elements and Shadow. Truck coon MVP. Yep. All right. Truck coon's done a lot to start off series. Started Konosuba, started this show, dude. Truck coon MVP. Yeah, Truck coon started all of these shows, dude. Hell yeah. I mean, it didn't really start Konosuba, but the thought of Truck Coon started Konosuba. The thought of Truck Coon scared Cosmo to death that he ended up being isekai. Our hero gets his exact wish and is born as a noble with great talent for magic and physical combat. By 12 years old, he is using his OP skills to slaughter bandits and keep their loot to himself so he can eventually build a bat cave. One day after killing some bandits, he finds a girl who has been mutated by a curse and takes her home to perform experiments on. He just thought it was a slime. And since it was like taking all types of like punishment from his magic, he was like, "Oh, cool. Time for you to use this as like to practice certain magic skills." And then he just like accidentally turned the slime back into a girl or some shit. And he's like, "Oh, all right. I'll just act badass and just act like it was completely intentional." And then I'll make up this entire backstory about like this secret cult and it turns out it's a 100% true. That's this guy's actual power. His power of just making up shit and it being and making up shit, running into shit, and making it seem fully intentional, and it turned out to being like the best decision that he could ever make. Complete accidents turn into masterful checkmate moves, sort of deal. Didn't start that zombie idol anime. What the fuck? I wanted an anime where every truck in Tokyo has a person from another anime stuck on its hood. What the fuck does that even mean? The girl happens to be a master assassin and recruits an entire harem of sexy female assassins off screen to create an army. No, he didn't do it. The other girl did it for him for the most part. He managed to cure like 3 girls from their like slime state, and then like the other girls just decided to rescue like an army of like 100 girls on the side. He wasn't involved at all. He's like, oh cool, you made friends, cool. Sid believes that he's just killing bandits and guards while pretending to fight a secret society, but since this world seems to grant his every wish, there actually is a secret society exactly like the one he made up, and it turns out that he's actually fighting the secret society despite the fact that he sometimes is fighting the bandits. Dude, what is the problem with this? This is all in the first episodes. By episode 10, I just feel like I'm watching Overlord again and wasting my time. It's the worst anime ever, but it's not really doing... It's not the worst anime ever, but it's not really doing anything for me. The animation is fine, but not stunning. The character designs are kind of bland. The music is kind of bland. Watch the series if you want a trash isekai that's aware it's a trash isekai, but doesn't really accomplish anything with that knowledge. It does. It accomplishes amazing things. It's a trash isekai, but it does it excellently. All right, I gotta sign off tonight. Thanks for the fun stream. Y'all enjoy, and remember, Mushoku Tensei is a 10 out of 10, or said best boy, or said wife. Yep. Ah, jeez. All right. What anime reviews do we talk about next? What other ones do you want to talk about? Made in Abyss. Keck. I have not seen Made in Abyss, so I am not going to go over reviews of that show. I am sorry. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to be depressed, so Sag. I thought Konosuba took the trash anime trope. Yeah, but Konosuba, okay. Basically, this anime is basically Konosuba, but insert some actual badass moments in the show. Because Konosuba does not have any badass moments. It's just comedic all the way through. This is comedic for the most part, but then it breaks those comedic points with actual badass moments, and I love it. Badass power fantasy moments, and I love it. There was a point where I was about to drop Shadow. It was like it was after the second nuke, but it really picks up after that. The second nuke was awesome, dude. Oh my gosh, the second nuke was awesome, and fan service. Yeah, fan service too, but like that's not the reason why I watch it. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna turn on the music. I like how I reached peak viewership when I was talking about Mushoku Tensei, and then it's just like kind of leveled off after that. It is funny. I shouldn't be looking at views. I shouldn't. Yeah, this is like pretty. All right. Because you have a lot of Mushoku Tensei content. Hee. Yeah, I know. I thought I strayed away from that because of Chainsaw Man. That's a freaking another anime that I need to see the bad reviews on. Chainsaw Man. All right. That's another show I need to see the bad reviews on. Seasonal anime. Go back. Go back. Go back. All right, Chainsaw Man. All right. I'm gonna leave it here for a bit. I'm gonna leave it here, and I'll be back. Come up with some anime that you want me to read bad reviews on. I'm gonna chill out and go to the restroom. I'll be back. Actually, can I do it like this?